Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Reality Is. As always, it's Noor, and with me today is brand new daddy Ryan Bailey.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you see this on video, I have spit stains, spit up all
Patreon
over.
exclusive. Yeah,
Yeah,
Patreon
but this
exclusive.
is it's usually there's a burp clot, but the burp clot always falls down, and so it always is on every shirt I own
No,
now.
no, burp cloths are not useful. That's stupid. It's just
No,
like don't get nice furniture, don't wear nice clothes. Just everything's gonna smell a little bit like baby throw up. Like it is what it is.
I'm
It's
shocked about the
fine.
people that actually like are put together and stuff, and I'm just like even Nia on the Valley or something. I'm like, why are we even dressing? Like, why I just wear like a tarp or something and just I mean, I have no kind of inkling towards fashion anyways, so it doesn't really. But then you'll see yourself on camera when you podcast, and you're like, oh God, there's like these huge stains right here.
No, I know. It's fine. I agree with you. I think that the uniform after having a baby should just be like no clothes. First of all,
Yes.
let's do no clothes, no pants. And you know what? Leave people alone. If they want to show you their face, that's fine. But like I just, I'm very big on like, of course, there's loneliness that happens and postpartum depression and all that. We need to make sure we don't like leave our, new moms behind on anything. But to be honest, I kind of wanted to be left behind when I had kids. I was like I breastfed both of my kids, and I would be like, "Oh, I have to go feed the baby," and then I would just like escape. I would just be like the baby would finish nursing after like 15 minutes, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, the baby took so long." And it's like, no, I was napping. I
Well,
was
there isn't. I
napping.
mean, there is a lot of bedtime, but it's not like fun bedtime when you're acting like you're sick or something, and you're like, it's not. It's not the like I'm just gonna binge a bunch of shows. I mean, you do get to watch shows in fits and starts and things like
Yeah.
that. But also when a baby's, when our child's screaming in your face, it's not the most pleasant thing, and you're like, Daddy's trying to watch Danny be mean to Nia on the Valley.
Yeah, you're like, what are you gonna do? Try to eat a sandwich? How
Yeah,
dare
like
you?
get the baby. Come on, I'm trying to watch a reality show right now. Damn it.
Oh my God. Danny Bucco, one of the most dark sided people on Bravo right now.
And this
It's
is
kind of
without tequila,
crazy.
folks. This is without tequila. So Dark Side Danny does not mean when he just drinks. It's like all around. And it's so weird. You would think he wouldn't let the mask slip. You would think that he knows at this point that cameras are on him. This is the third season. And so for him to be such a cranky little bitch, and Nia very aware that he's being a bitch. And I just feel like, dude, I mean, this is an easy layup for you, like
Yeah.
you are still finding new ways to be an ass. Like you're even like, come on, you idiot. That's a lasso, Nia. It's not a roadie. It's a lasso. I'm like, why
So
would anybody need to know what a lasso is?
so unnecessary, so rude. He is so fucked up. Let's jump right into the
Oh,
valley.
yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
So let's just jump right
No,
in.
I just
Great
rewatched The
question.
Valley right before I talked to you, and it was
Yeah.
like it just got me enraged all over
No,
again.
I think that's perfect. I think we need to be enraging more against the men on
Yeah.
the valley. This week on the valley, unfortunately, we got a lot of Tom Schwartz. Okay. For some reason, Bravo is like really, really sucking on the teeth of Tom Schwartz. I don't understand it. We got very cute, a bunch of West Coast people like getting very excited for public transit. They're like, trains. Have you heard of trains? You
Yeah,
can sit on
it's
them and do whatever you want. You can even walk around and drink on a train. You're like, yeah, it's a fucking train. Like
Yeah,
I'm
Schwartz is like
from
airplane rules, airport rules, you guys, airport rules, and I'm like, oh my god, you're 43, man, like you're so like, and then it's like Schwartz, Schwartz said this episode how like, oh my god, isn't this a good time? Isn't this fun? I'm like, just because I'm glad one of us is having fun. Like just because you say this is fun, Schwartz, it's not appearing to be fun to the audience.
It's just so funny. Like, I'm from New Jersey. Like, trains are like, and I live close to the city. So, like, for me, like, trains are just a part of our existence here. Like, it is funny to be like, well, this is why, we have the problem. We should have trains more accessible in America. Like, that it's a disaster.
Yeah,
Like, I start to go that route, but it was just
yeah.
very cute to see everybody so excited about trains, but also I was like a little autistic of you,
I didn't
Tom
want to say
Schwartz.
that, but like everything I've read is that is a something that people that are on the spectrum, and I love on the spectrum, and I think they have that one couple that's in love with trains, which by the way they broke up last
I
week, which like broke
heard.
my heart. Um, maybe we can get one of them on the Valley, which would be amazing. But Schwartz, especially, seems to live in this kind of weird bubble where I know he's gone through pain and tragedy, but he's just like, oh, my worst fear is mayonnaise. Oh, and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet of you. Like, that's your worst fear. It's not like war or hantavirus or anything like that. It's mayonnaise.
He's like, "Who's gonna water my plants if mayonnaise gets me?" You're like,
Yeah.
"I don't, I don't, I don't
And we meet his new girlfriend, Kiana. And I was like, Kiana, get ready to have a bed full of candy as a romantic gesture one time.
Yeah, Kiana looks like she kicks his ass when the cameras are rolled down. She's like, "Come here, stupid." She's gonna just punch him in the face, and she looks like she beats him up. And maybe,
Yeah.
to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing for Tom Schwartz. He was married to Katie Maloney for so long, so
I mean, I think that is probably something he truly likes. I will say at this point in the Valley, I'm willing to say, let's bring back Joe. Let's bring back Joe. Let's give Schwartz something to really fear because
yeah.
everything's too easy. Like he's collecting a paycheck for pretty much just saying, I'm having a good time and showing up at events. Let's give him a little struggle. And if you pop Joe and like, if Joe all of a sudden was on that train on the San Diego, like, hey guys, it's me, Joe. Let's walk my turtle. Like then we would see Schwartz like being scared of something different than mayonnaise.
Okay, I have to know, boots on the ground, does Schwartz even live in the valley?
I don't know if yes, he does. Because he
Okay,
lives in the same place that Jax just moved out of a couple of months ago.
fine. Oh, the place that we saw him move into
Yeah,
last
I
season?
believe that's where he still lives, and that is definitely in the valley.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
do you think Kiana's met Jax?
I think so. I think even if Schwartz tried to make sure that Kiana didn't meet Jax, Jax is like, "I'm gonna meet your new
Yeah.
girlfriend." And
Hey,
Schwartz
what's
just
up? He has a job because of me. You know that, right?
yeah, yeah, he wouldn't even be famous without me. You been in
Hey,
Tom
you want to
Tom?
watch the movie Drive with me?
Gross. Yeah, they went to San Diego and they rode roller coasters and there's a lot of bickering and I find this show frustrating as a parent and I wanted to for sure we were talking a little bit before we hit record, but I wanted to know for you as a new parent, like, does this show feel fun to you to watch or does it bum you out?
It bums me out, but I do wanna point out the show was never fun. Like, the first 2
You're
seasons were like it wasn't like, "Oh my god, let's bring it back to the good times that the Valley used to have." It's just, like, a different kind of miserable now, and I do think there's an imp like, I will say just being in the situation we're in now, the postpartum conversation is a very important conversation. What's really bringing me down is watching the men
yeah.
be so idiotic in terms of and, like, it's a real good litmus test or just a real good thing for me to even check in with myself. Like, I'll be like, have I been like Danny or Luke in regards to Chris? And like, I was even watching with Rebecca, and I was like, am I like? She's like, oh my god, are you kidding me? And I know I'm not, but it's that good reminder too. But like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, why are we pressuring sex on women that are postpartum? They're obviously their hands are full, and I just don't understand why these men are so scared of masturbation. Like, it is
No.
so easy it's so
Yeah.
easy to do.
It is so easy to do,
Yeah,
Ryan. Thank you. Thank you. We need to bring back
yeah.
masturbation, everybody.
No, it's like, feel free. Like, we'll get back to that eventually, but right now and also, you think Danny realizing seeing all those vacation photos of them taking all these, like, Egyptian vacations
Yeah.
pre-2020, and you're like, you really do forget sometimes, like, they have
Yeah.
4 children under 4. We have 1 9-week-old, and I have not experienced anything like this in my life. The insanity to have 4 kids under 4, I
Yeah.
can't even begin to imagine what that whole thing is like, and then to still pressure your wife for sex is such a and it's like the women are we ask people to communicate. The
Mhm.
women of this show are so directly communicating,
Yes.
and I think that's the thing is you feel like you're banging your head up against the wall because you're like, "How am I hearing this and they are not hearing this? I don't understand this."
It's, like, let's talk about Luke and Kristen. There's not a lot of Kristen this episode. Kristen, she was just mostly like, "Hey, got my first period after having a baby. I'm dying inside."
Yeah, I'm in
And
diapers.
yeah, I'm in diapers and I feel like shit and I hate everybody. I'd love to be home and just snuggle with my baby. And I feel like somebody at Peacock or Bravo was like, "Bitch, you need a paycheck. Like, you gotta
No,
go."
it's like I do like it like they're like Michelle lost her mom. We got two people that just gave birth, and they're like, nope, you got to film. I'm like, we could have waited a couple more months. Like I don't know what you thought. Like, no, this is gonna be great. We're gonna have everybody miserable on this cast. Like, we could have maybe just held it 3 more months.
Yeah, just like give it a touch. Like let them heal just a little bit
Give
and
it a
they're like
beat.
just like give it a beat. You know, it's so funny that you mentioned like this show has actually never been fun and then I'm always I remember cuz I always skip past the intro, but the intro song, like the theme song
Oh,
for this
I'm all
is
right.
so
Yeah.
cuz I'm all right. But the other thing I noticed is that the way that the song fades out, it does like almost like a serial the podcast sounding like blink blink blink, but to me, it actually sounds more like, you know, like somebody's heartbeat on like a and like life support at a hospital. That's what it sounds like to me because these people are fucking dying. It's so bad. It's so bad. And yeah, like Kristen and Luke, their relationship I thought was so interesting because I do think Kristen is so beautifully direct. It's so nice to see Kristen Doty, who used to just like ugh through life. She was like,
Yeah, yeah,
all the
yeah.
time, right? For her to be like, okay, so here's the thing. I feel like shit. I don't like my body. I'm having a lot of issues. I have a lot of anxiety about being away from the baby. I feel like I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss that. My body's like not my own, whatever. And Luke is like, well, if I have to listen to a woman, well, I'm going to tell you that I'm having problems too. And
Yeah,
she's like,
because he
okay.
thinks that saying I still want to put my penis inside of you should solve Kristen's feelings about her own body. And I'm like, just because you're still attracted to her is beautiful for you, but at the same time, it's going to do nothing for somebody that is feeling a certain way about themselves. Like it's a nice gesture, but at this point, his feelings, and it's like no slight to him, you're her partner, but that's not going to do anything. It's not going to be like, oh, well, I guess everything's perfect then because Luke still wants to have sex with me. It's not adding up to him.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's like, I get that he thinks he's having real issues, but I would say, and maybe this is because I'm older, is that, your life has changed. And especially for this first year, I would imagine that you have to give up all sorts of, license to wanting to have a personal experience that is beneficial
Yeah.
to you. Like, and all that he's like, I go out to drink and then I go to Taco Bell. I'm like, that's what you're doing with it? Like, I mean,
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, I have one thing. Come home from Taco Bell or wherever you are. Just would love if you don't sleep on the couch. You're not too hungover to help me in the morning." And he does exactly that.
yes.
He's like, "I'm going to sleep on the couch and I'm not going to wake up in the
See, and that's what I'm
morning."
thinking. If you can't do the two things she asked, then it's like, why have given up your right to complain then? Because you're like, oh, I see it. Like, I didn't even I'm 0 for 100 right now of like doing anything that she asked me to do.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this for a few weeks now, and every week it like becomes more clear to me. I believe that Kristen Doty, you know, she is a woman of the craft. She is a witch, and I mean that complimentary. And I think that she like wished for herself a young man who's like not like a man who's not like any man that she's ever known in life. And accidentally she like cursed herself with this man that's from like 1801, which is why he looks the way he does and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what it's like to be in Los Angeles. All this is brand new to me." And it's like, is it because 2025 is new to you because you're from 1801? Like,
Well, on the Valley After Show, which is actually better than the Valley Show,
yeah,
is
yeah.
that they were talking about Lacey's doomsday bunker, and Luke was like, "Well, on my property, I've got like hundreds of gallons of rice and dried food. Of course I do." And I'm like, "This is the show. Like, why are we not like this?" To me is fascinating. Like the fact that we're not talking more about doomsday bunkers, and like the fact that Luke has hundreds of pounds of rice stored away on his property.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yeah, when shit goes down, that's when you're going to want a guy like Luke. He's fully prepared. But I'm like, I want conversations about that.
Yeah, like would Luke be happier if Kristen let him make a bunker in LA? Like, is that what he wants? Like, I just want because he's always like, "Oh, I can't go fishing." You're like,
Well, Luke,
okay.
Luke would be happier if the power grid went completely down. Luke even says in the Valley After Show, he's like, "Oh, LA won't stand a chance. LA will not stand a chance when it goes down." I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like
Are you
watching in
planning?
LA, and I
Yeah.
was like, "By the way, Luke probably will be our mayor at some point in Los Angeles, so I shouldn't joke too much." Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is heading that way. Like I could totally see, God forbid, if and when the what seems like might be the inevitable happens in Los Angeles, like Spencer Pratt's like, and I choose whatever my Secretary of State. I don't know
Yeah.
what you have in May for mayors. It's like Luke from the Valley. Nobody even
Well, I get
knows his last
scared
name.
now. Ever since the Spencer Pratt shit, I get so scared of watching any of these reality shows because I truly feel I'm like, well, that's going to be the cabinet one day. Like this is like I'm obviously giving people unfair advantages because they've been on TV. So no matter what, it's like they're already in your head. So it's automatic
Yeah.
like advertisement in some sense. And it's like we
Yeah.
just don't seem to even learn any sort of lessons. So I get nervous when I laugh at somebody too much or like, oh, that's kind of funny the way he looks at the world. It doesn't mean I think they should be in politics or
Yeah.
government at all.
Yeah, we're like, Luke is probably gonna be really good for, like, apocalypse times. That does not mean that I
Yeah.
want him to be president. I
But, like, I
just
thought we all
wanna be
knew that.
clear.
I thought we all knew that. And the thing is, all the realities, like the people that like us that watch all the reality shows, we know. But it's all the
Yeah.
people that don't watch reality shows and they're like, "Wow, this person really knows how to like yell over somebody." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like they've been doing it for like 20 years. Are you we already know this person, you
I
know?"
know, I know. They're like, "Who is this young whippersnapper
Yeah.
Spencer Pratt? Where is
He
he
really
from?"
pops on screen. I'm like, yes, he popped on screen at Ladue 20 years ago when he was like selling like tapes and pictures of people illegally, you
Ugh,
know?
God, ugh, yuck. Well, the other monster dad here is obviously Danny Bucco. Danny, just horrible, looking like giving youth pastor vibes every single fucking episode. Just his outfits are really bad. And this episode, like, they're taking the train. Poor Nia strapped the baby on her. She's trying to eat a sandwich, and she's like, "Hey, the baby's moving around a lot. You mind just holding the baby?" And he's
He's
like,
getting a massage from Luke at the when
"Yeah,
this happens. He's like, I'm
yeah."
getting a shiatsu. Please stop.
Yeah, shut up, my
Yeah.
the head of my cabinet is massaging my shoulder right now, please. And, like, it was like he gave her a nasty look then, and then when they were all staying at the baby house on that property, like, he's, I guess, like, putting the baby down for a nap, and she's eating, and he's like, "Yeah, I need a burp cloth," or, "No, I need, like, a swaddle. Where's the swaddle?" And she's like she literally walks 2 steps away from where he's standing,
Yeah.
picks it
Yeah.
up and hands it to him, and I was like,
She goes,
"Are you fucking kidding me right
and
now?"
he goes, You're eating a sandwich? You're
Yeah.
eating a sandwich?
What the fuck? What the fuck? He's so psychotic. And then they go to the park and she's trying to really be like, "Hey, you look like an asshole. So I'm going to try to make this fun and be like,
Yeah.
hey, let's have fun. Let's be at a roller coaster." And he's like, "You stupid bitch. You don't know
You're
what a
being
lasso
performative.
is."
This is why you should have let me pack my ripped jeans.
It's so bizarre. And every time Danny comes on TV, I'm like, he is truly one of the smallest men I've ever seen. And I mean, like, ego wise and also like height wise. Like, every time he's on, I'm like, is he shrinking? He feels like he's in middle school. He seems like a wee
Well, you
lad.
know what it is? He seems like even though he was skinny before, it seems like he's lost a lot of weight in
Hmm.
between seasons. Like he's really
Yeah.
like just being very tight, and I think it's making him look smaller physically in
Yeah.
some ways too.
Yeah, it's just it bums me out watching all these dudes just be terrible. And I love the way the women are communicating, and it's really nice to see because we had years of Britney just kind of taking it from Jax, and it was so fucking upsetting to watch, or like whatever we've seen on like Summer House for years. But
Oh,
it's so nice to see these women clearly
hey, can you
communicate.
hear me? Your audio cut out.
Oh no,
Hello?
do you hear me
Okay, now
now?
I can hear you. Now I can hear
Okay,
you.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um all of these women are communicating so beautifully, and it's just such a bummer to see that the men are just not getting it. Like, also they're young guys. Like, they're not even like, Luke is 35.
I don't know, but I don't get why they don't even watch playback and go because I'm like, okay, we can all see this, right? The
Yeah.
majority of us see that the men are kind of just like really missing the mark. Did they not see this and go, oh my God, seeing this visually, I completely feel like an idiot. And it gives me a good roadmap on what not to do. Like that's what scares me. It doesn't seem like there's any recognition that they realize they're in the wrong.
You're absolutely right. Like, I feel it feels to me like they're not even doing any like playback. There's like, let's watch the tape back
Yeah.
and see how we can improve. Janet, for as demonic as she can be, like, Janet and Jason both are like, we got to come on this season with our tail between our legs and just be as nice as possible, right? And it feels like because Danny is doing no self-correction, I kind of feel like Janet and Jason win in that regard, you know?
Well, sometimes you just have to let people spin themselves out and you don't have to do anything. Like,
Yeah.
people will see, what the real deal is. And I'm not saying that Janet is without fault, but it's like sometimes you just got to let people kind of dig their own grave. And I feel like Danny's continuing to do that with or without drink. And it's unfortunate because I think that's the bummer is that you watch this and you're like, oh, the reality of Nia and Kristen's actual reality makes me sad because you're like, there's not like, especially for Nia, it's like you just got to get through it. She's not going to leave him. He's not going to leave her. But at the same time, you would hope for, I mean, a more equal footing. And it seems like she actually knows what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like between the two of them, Nia is so much more like, she's so much more media trained, it feels, because she's a
Oh
pageant
yeah,
girl.
big time.
And Danny is just like he was like a child star, and then, he does, like, voiceover work, so I feel like there's not really a lot of room for him to be, like, doing red carpets, and so I feel like like, functioning off of whatever media training he got when he was on Nickelodeon when he was, like, 12.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's, like
Keenan and Kel taught me the moves. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, I mean, this one of the straightest, most boring, bizarre shows on television that I watch every week and I love to talk
Oh,
about,
yeah, by
so
the way, I'm not one of those people. I see a lot of people online, they're like, I'm done, I can't, I'm dipping out on the valley." I'm like, "Do you just," I mean, like, no, I go down with the ship. Like, I'm like, I no, I'm
Yeah.
going nowhere. I will suffer. I've suffered through seasons of Beverly Hills. I've suffered through seasons of, like,
Mhm.
lesser shows. I don't know really what I expect from this, but I do think it's hard because, with Vanderpump Rules or even Summer House, there's this thing of like, well, they go to a summer house or they
Mhm.
go work at SUR, allegedly. But with the
Yeah.
Valley, the whole promise of being older is that you get to pick and choose who your friends are. And if they're not somebody that you like, you just cut them out of your life. Like you
Yeah.
have kids, you have other things. And so the premise of the show is that, like, yeah, man, like they all don't like Janet, but then it's like if Janet wants to be on the show, and it's very confusing when you don't have this paper thin conceit that you can hang your hat on. Like if we went to a doomsday bunker every week or just filmed there for a season, it's like, well, that's the conceit of the show. But this, you're like, well, you just wouldn't hang out with that person, so it makes
Y
no sense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, I love the fact that Britney's weird boyfriend didn't come this episode because I was like, that man is trying to get a mic pack, like, staple gun to his back so he could be there
But
every
at the
single
same
week.
time, kinda disappointed. I'm a fan of Brandon in the sense that at least it's like, at least it's something to make fun of. At least it's another
Yeah.
thing where you're like, "Hey, let me tell you how it really is. Okay, let me tell you what you're doing wrong here." And I think it's great, Luke. She just had a baby though. Come on, bud.
Yeah.
Brandon DM'd me, and, I've not replied back, but he DM'd me. He's like, "Hey, I really like the podcast, and I really like the imitation. It's great." And I was like, "I don't think I really do an imitation." I was like, I don't even have, like, a voice for Brandon, I don't think, and I was like, "Oh, this is so weird." He's, like, listening to podcasts about the Valley, and I think that says a lot right there.
Yeah, yeah. My thing about Brittany is like I'm so happy for her that she's like really, she said this episode, like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm paying my own bills. I'm taking care of my
Yes.
kid. I think she is an amazing mother. I'm excited for her mommy makeover. But Brittany is cracking me up because every single time she is on screen, she is making some crazy noises from her mouth. She's always like,
Oh,
yeah,
she
like
goes last week, she goes, "I'm bald as biscuit. Make me bald as biscuit." And then she walked in and she goes, "I'm hungry. I'm hungry." Grr."
she
Did you see how much mayonnaise she put on that sandwich this
yeah,
week?
which
I
is
was like,
why
"Holy shit." Like, it's like a soup on your sandwich.
maybe that's why Schwartz is scared of mayonnaise.
It's like, "Schwartz, stay away from Brittany. Schwartz, don't go near Brittany." Like, I was like, I don't know, but I was like, that says a lot. Like, she doused that thing in mayonnaise so much that I was alarmed, and I'm an eater, and I was like, "Oh, this is like, do you even taste the sandwich at this point, or is it just like?"
Well, well, last season, I remember there was that shot when like Brittany and Jax were like having these fights, and there was this scene where Brittany opened up her fridge to like look for something. You know him and love him, of course, Tom Hamlet. Tom Hamlet and I
It was
froze
every
that screen, and we went through the whole
every
door.
Oh, and just the amount, like, cause like, even, like, her pool party last week, she's like, "I'll make him a jalapeno cheddar," no, and then it was, like, arguing about pizzas and stuff, and I was just like, "There's a lot going on in that stomach." Like, there and by the way, if I was there, I would have eaten all of it, cause I'll just eat whatever's, like, laid down, but I was like, there's a lot going on." But Brittany is one of those fun people where, like, she has horrific things going on. She's like, "My ex is stalking me."
Yes.
She makes it
Yes.
like fun. I was like, "Wow, this is kind of fun that like your life is." But you're right. To your point, I even wrote that in my notes. I said, "She is a bad bitch, man. She is making all the money. She's staying in the house. She's
Yeah.
taking care of her son. Like those are all things to be celebrated. It's just that she's so. You're right. She's just so funny in how she says things,
It's just
and yeah, I don't know. We're
She's
going on.
she's like got like a Muppet like quality about her
Oh,
this season. Like she comes in, like I will just never forget that episode where we met Brandon, then they went on, of course, date night,
I know.
and and they went on date night, and every time a new dish came to the table, she was like, "Yum,
Yeah, I'm
yum."
hungry. I'm hungry. Yeah. Oh, yay.
She does this Cookie Monster voice. It cracks me up every time.
and
And I mean that with so much love
I
and
know.
respect because you
I
know what? I think it shows whimsy, and we do need more whimsy in this world because on a show as dark as the Valley, like I love the whimsy of Britney's bajillion
yes.
condiments and her Muppet voice. Like I think it's fun.
And the thing is, what I hate though is that I know how they want to be viewed is sometimes goes in polar opposite of how they're actually viewed. And you
Yeah.
feel bad, but you're like at the same time, like, no, I still love you. Like it's really, it's like you like it's just so silly what we do. Like we talk about these shows and I mean, it's so silly, but at the
So
same time,
silly.
we take it serious and sometimes the cast takes it serious and you're like, I mean, it's really hard because, it's like, of course, like think about our own lives. If somebody was doing a podcast commentary, it wouldn't be great, right? It wouldn't be great. Like I'd have
Well,
people imitate me. It's not the most fun in the world. So you get it. But at the same time, you're like, but it's something that I love. I genuinely love
yeah.
when Brittany will talk about something.
Well, Ryan, I grew up with brothers, so
Yes.
I've spent an entire lifetime of being made fun of. I would do great on reality TV. No, just kidding. I would cry constantly. I would be like Ashley I from fucking Rhode Island. I
Yeah.
would just constantly be
I know that I
sobbing.
would be, and that's why I would not allow myself to be an actual main character on a reality show. Like, I just don't, I don't know how much money in the world. Like, you couldn't pay me to be Janet. Like, I don't know. Like at this point, you're like, well, what kind of money is it? Because I don't know.
And
I
it's
just
not a
don't know.
lot. It can't
Well,
be a
not in the
lot.
first 2 seasons. The 3rd season, you get a bump up, and, so they're making decent money now, but those first 2 seasons, like, people would be shocked at what these people got their first season, like, or what they were even trying to give new people on Vanderpump Rules towards the end of its run, like,
Yeah.
it was like but they're like, "You'll make it up in product placement, you'll make it up in this," and it's
Yeah.
not just because you're on a reality show does not mean you're well off at all. Like, people like Schwartz, he's well off. Like
Yeah.
he's had like, he's the guy that's always buying drinks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But like even for Janet, I just feel for her because I'm like, you don't even have a product that you're shilling. Like you're just shilling yourself like as a friend? Okay.
Well, I don't, yeah, I don't get it. And I'm like, because I think it would make you more paranoid about the world around you, of
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
whoa, is this how everybody views me? Or like, I just think it would give me such like, it would give me psychosis at some point, I would
No,
imagine.
truly. And every single person I know who knows Janet in real life is like, Janet's amazing. I'm like,
She's cool, man. I know I've known her.
yeah.
I've known her way before the Valley and stuff, and she's so. I mean, I see like there are certain similarities, or we're like okay that, but you're like ooh. But my thing is like if you're going to be the villain, be the villain because
Yeah.
you trying to make up with everybody, but it's like tell me what to apologize for. It's like no. If you either
Mm-mm.
know what you're going to apologize for or don't, other than that, stand down. Like, be a villain. Then, like, go out. If
Yeah.
you really think, like she said last week that Danny liked a comment saying that Jason liked to watch her have sex with other men. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a sec, why are we hearing this in a talking head? Or why are we hearing this? You tell Brittany this. I want to hear you say this because I want to know what that is. Is that true? Did
I
Danny
know.
like I've never seen anything like that online. I always love when they say these things and I'm like, what corner of the internet are you on? Because I'm
Yeah.
not there yet.
Well, I love it because Janet is so online. Like, Janet is so
Oh,
chronically
that is
online.
true, yes.
And so I feel like she is going into Danny's comments and reading what people post and seeing who likes what and what does Danny like. Like she is a little bit of a bone collector in that way. And I understand cuz I'm like a demon in that way too. Like if I keep buying storage on my phone cuz I haven't deleted anything, like text messages from people since like I don't know, 2013 when I first got an iPhone. Like I it's scary how much information I hold. Like my brother always says like she has the fucking receipts. Like I constantly am that person. So I respect it from Janet's point of view, but I agree with you. If that is the case, sit down and actually say it. Don't be like, "Oh, I'm just going to pretend like they don't exist," or like
Yeah, like, I'll just see
that's
how this
bizarre.
goes. I'll see and
Yeah.
it's like, if you're gonna be the bone collector, it's like maybe she collected too many bones and she presented too many bones. Like, she said things if we can't get it on camera, it's gonna be really hard. You've gotta find a way to get it on camera and then pull the receipts because if you're gonna say Danny's, like, making women feel awkward and we don't have that on full camera, it's, like, hard because then you're presenting yourself as, like, a judge, jury, and executioner, and it ends up making that character look bad in some people's eyes whether
Yeah.
that thing is true or not. So, like I said, like Danny's kind of spinning himself out without the help of Janet at all. Like, so people will take care of themselves, but it's like,
Yeah.
once again, I don't know. It just, you're like, well, where does this go from here? Like, it's not like Danny, it's not like Nia and Kristen give away their kids at the end of the season and the Bachelor, like, hey, have a bunch of sex with your men. And like you're like, oh, there's what happens to this show, because I think as you get older,
Yeah.
you get further separated from people sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, God bless. Good luck to those crazy kids over at the Valley and Santa Clarita and wherever else they live in the greater Los Angeles area, I guess. Good luck. I hope all of you have registered, and I'm worried about how they're voting.
Yeah, wait, I hope some of them aren't registered actually, if I'm really being honest with you. Also, yeah, but also when Lacey brought something up in regards to that Janet conversation of like, I do think it's weird that
Yeah.
Janet has screenshots of like my
Yes.
house and all that stuff. And it is an important reminder is that like sometimes we're like such pudding brains at this point because we're like, there's so much information about all of these people, and that's like almost some sort of currency within this fan group of this, like,
Yeah.
oh, this and this and this. And it's like, it's an important reminder to remind people, like, we're not normal. Like this
No.
isn't normal. It's like normal people. That is true. Normal people. We shouldn't encourage people to just spy on people. Like that's
Yeah.
not because then they're like, oh, there's a sadness in that of like, well, what's not going on in your life? You must get a kick out of this.
Yeah.
And we also understand that we're like, yeah, I get a kick on getting information too. But like,
Yeah.
it's Lacey going, yeah, I think that's weirdo behavior because you're like, oh, I guess somebody would think that's weirdo behavior
Yeah.
outside of that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Also, like, when that weirdo behavior is like discussed on nationally televised show,
I
that is
know.
also weird. Like, it's like, of course, we've all looked up how much our friend's house is. Like, as soon as you get an address of where you're going to a new person's house, you're gonna look up their house on
I
Zillow.
have wait,
It's
can I say I have never looked up any
okay.
I
Well,
have
Ryan, you're better
never
than the rest
no,
of
no,
us,
not
I
better, it's just
guess.
I'm lazier than the rest. I have never even but, like, it never even occurs to me to think about, like I'll go to a house and be like, "Hey, this is cool," like, I don't think about, like, I wonder how much like, I'm just my mind doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like so some of ours does. And but the thing is, I would hate to have that discussed on TV. You know what I mean? Like I would hate for somebody to be like, Nora's all over Reddit and she has screenshots about all of us. I'd be like, no, I don't want you to know that about me. That's for me to know about myself with my close family and friends. Don't talk about that on TV.
Yeah,
Like that's how I would feel about it. So it is embarrassing. It's an embarrassing situation because we are embarrassing people at times. It's more embarrassing when somebody goes on TV and calls you out on your embarrassing behavior and then you're like, "Well, Janet is a little bit of a creep in that way." But isn't that still less creepy than Danny groping women? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I really that's the thing is that and this show, I don't think the show really does like not that a show should, but it doesn't really present you with how you should feel
no,
about these
no,
people.
no. The show leaves it very open ended. The show is like,
Yeah.
maybe you love them. You're like,
Yeah.
that's kind of it. The show's like, aren't you entertained? And you're like,
Yeah.
I don't. No, actually, I feel sick when I watch the
Yeah,
show, but
I
I
feel
will.
I feel a deep concern about my future and the future of my loved ones when I watch this show. And it's like, but then it's like Summer House is dealing with like, intense things, but for some
Yeah.
reason Summer House has like fooled me enough to be like, well, it's still summer's fun though. It's like pretty like they're at a
Yeah.
beach like I don't know for some reason and it's like I think also and I guess this is something you can appreciate about the Valley. Nobody's like glamming it up.
No,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody's like they're
Mhm.
dressed like trash cans, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, that's how I dress. But then you go to this summer house, and you're like, everybody's in like bikinis. You got tight bodies. Like, there's not
Yeah.
one guy out there. I'm like, I'm afraid to take my shirt off in the pool. Like, there's like you don't have like a
Yeah.
me out there of like, oh, I don't want people to see my love handles. Like, it's like packaged so differently.
I know.
It's just as intense if you really think about it, but it's just packaged so differently.
It is. I think it's just like the summer. I think it's because it's a summer and it feels temporary, whereas the valley, you're like, this is their lives forever. Like, that's terrible.
But see, that's what the spinoff in the city will be interesting to be.
I
Will that
know.
just be just as miserable as the valley, or will that actually be like, well, it's actually way funner in the East Coast than what the valley does in the West Coast?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but it is, I think, also just a realization that all adults are miserable because of the like general state of the world.
That's
So,
it, but I don't want to. That's it. No, you're right. You nailed it. Like, you're right. You don't want to be reminded that you're like, oh, I already knew I was miserable going into watching the show, and now I'm more miserable than I was before. And then afterwards, you feel like this giant, like, oh God, I got it over with for another week. And
yeah,
you keep waiting for it to take off in some way, or even decide what the season, like what are the storylines here? Like, and
yeah.
Schwartz like trying to be cutesy, talking to alpacas and stuff, and like, the alpaca is probably one of the more exciting cast members this season, and we only saw it for like 20 or 30 seconds, you know?
And even the alpaca had sad eyes. So
Yeah.
it's like,
It was like because they realized it was on the Valley. They were like, they told me I was gonna be on Summer House, and then I found out I was on the Valley. Yeah.
yeah, this sucks. Real quick, let's touch on Southern hospitality before we go over to talk about Summer House. But Southern hospitality, not you're talking about like you being able to like exist and still find happiness in like a shitty world. I think Southern hospitality is doing a really nice job. I think it helps that they're all very young, they're drunk, and they're all really hot. Because like if you think about the dark, sad shit that's happening on Southern hospitality, what Emmy has done
Yep.
to Bradley, it's terrible. And then I don't know, have you seen what Leva is doing
I've
in the
seen a little
comments?
bit Leva trying to stand up for like, well, I didn't know, and da da
Oh my
da, not really kind of
god.
understanding the crux of, you have children, you have a child with. I mean, it's it's one. I just don't understand why Emmy even agreed to do another season, but she's having the season she deserves.
Yes.
I'm really curious to see the conversations that happen at the reunion.
Yeah.
But even with all that, it's still presented in this kind of fun. I mean, I think that's the beauty of youth, is that these
Yeah,
are all
it
young
is.
kids drinking, having sex with each other, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I watch the show and I go, yes, the world is full of racists, and we live in a world where we're gonna have to work with or interact with racist people who have made us uncomfortable, and we live in a world that unfortunately does not create a lot of repercussions for racist people, so we as, like, marginalized people or people of color have to figure out how to still find joy in, like, a really ugly world, and it turns out if you're really hot and drunk and get to fuck each other, that kind of helps because that's what's happening on Southern
Yeah.
hospitality. They're like, Emmy's coming. Ugh, she's bumming us out.
Yeah.
She functions. I always say she looks like a lizard in like a human suit that like forgot how to be a human. Like she's always doing this weird thing with her tongue, and she's always like chewing frantically and like looking around with her eyes. Like she looks so like freakish at times,
Yeah.
and she's weirding everybody out. But everybody's like, if we just pretend like the lizard lady is not there and we just keep drinking in this dinner
Yeah.
that we're having in the middle of the sky, I think we'll still be okay. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Emmy's having the season that she deserves. I wonder what's going to happen in the reunion, but I still love Southern hospitality because those kids are still like, she's racist,
Oh
but we're
yeah.
still going to have fun.
Oh,
You
I mean,
know?
I mean, it's coming after the Valley. I mean, sometimes I almost wish Southern Hospitality started the night and then the Valley was the second
Yes.
hour
Yeah.
because it's like the like in your 20s and then in your
Hmm.
40s, in your 20s, 30s, and then in your 40s.
Yeah.
It's like Southern hospitality is a Saturday night and the Valley's like the Sunday morning hangover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Valley is the Sunday scaries for sure, and Southern
Yeah.
hospitality is like the joy of like 6 p.m. on a Friday into like 2 a.m. on a Saturday, and like that's that's youth, baby. That's
Yeah.
Southern hospitality. They're having fun.
But there is
The
something
let
interesting, like, with
Yeah,
Michael's, like, being so young and, it's like when you not that we ever really truly have a handle on our emotions, but, like, when you're feeling things for the first time and you're being able to, like, kind of verbalize those and, even though you've been on this earth for, like, 23 years and stuff, that's still relatively young for what life's gonna present with you. So it's interesting to watch a not a newer struggle, but somebody in their youth struggling with something and struggling with
yeah,
trying to like understand these big feelings and understand why somebody feels a certain way and being frustrated of why they're not fully understanding because it's like the men on the valley. It seems so easy to understand. It seems
yeah,
so easy to understand. And I think that's the other thing about youth too is like there are so many new things happening for these kids. And
yeah,
so you can watch that with if you're older, especially going, oh my gosh, there's like this beauty, but there's also this kind of sadness with youth when they're
yeah.
figuring out how the world works.
Yeah, I love Michaels. I don't love when he yells at women, but I do love Michaels. I love that this
You know what
episode
I forgot the
yeah.
first episode was like, "Get the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
Molly."
he yelled at Molly, he yelled at Lake, but then he didn't yell at Emmy, and I was like, "Please yell at Emmy. I think you should yell at Emmy. Emmy should be the one that you yell at, Michaels. Go back." But this episode, he talked a little bit about like going to that church and like his relationship with religion and being gay and all that stuff. And I thought it was beautiful. It was lovely. It was really nice to see Michaels and TJ have that conversation where TJ's like, when you get drunk and make out with me, you tell me that you're in love with me. And Michaels is like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It doesn't sound familiar. Yeah.
Doesn't sound familiar. I'm extremely hot. Have you seen you? Like you should be in love with me. And it's just like I loved seeing it because it was like again a very straightforward conversation. I think one of the people that has like the hardest two people that have the hardest time communicating on this show is Joe Bradley because I fear he didn't learn that skill. And Emmy, because she is truly just like a monstrous person. But Joe Bradley, like, he just cracks me up so bad. Like, him just being like, yeah, of course, like, go check out your fertility stuff, Maddie. Like, I'll be here, of course. Like, we'll have babies. It'll be fine. No big deal. I've got a lot of swimmers. Like, no problem. And then she's like, "Yeah, but, like, I don't want you to be disappointed, like, because 'cause I've got fertility issues in my family and, like, I really want kids." And he's like, "Yeah, if you didn't want kids, like, we wouldn't be together." But then I'm like, "This woman is telling you that there might be a possibility that she might not be able to have kids." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem. My sperm works." And you're like, "Joe, I don't."
Yeah, well, yeah, because Joe Bradley, it's like he's like that high school quarterback that never truly fulfilled, the promise of
Yes.
what people thought of him, and that's kind of seems like what he's dealing with, and like him, like going out and drinking. He's like, well, you just never know when you're going to run into somebody that wants to invest in your bar, and you're like, I've been to Charleston, like it's like this one strip of bars. I'm like, how? And by the way, it already seems like Charleston is good on bars. Like
Yeah.
Leva owns like about 80 of them, and like I'm like how many other bars in Charleston can it seems like it just goes in and out. And I think that's his thing of like, oh, I should be a owner of a bar by now. And I'm like, maybe even just set yourself higher. Like maybe you just go back to school.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I worry for him because I also worry he puts so much stock in the relationship with Maddie, but then fully doesn't sometimes listen to her as well, which is a common theme with all men on Bravo, where you're
Yeah.
like, this really might, and they're so young that this might not end up working out. And I think he's like set his sights of like, well, I'm not a bar owner, but I own Maddie right now.
Yeah, thank God that they have the youth ahead for them. I mean, Joe did turn 30, so it's cutting close for him. But
It's
as
over.
we all know, the 30s are the new 20s, so the kids have plenty of time to figure it out. I guess it'll be fine. I'm sure. All right, let's go over to Summer House. Ugh,
Oh yeah. Bummer house.
Bummer House, exactly. It's so funny that that was their chat name. I was like, oh my God, not Bummer House. Ryan Bailey, do you know this?
I
Did you see
didn't, by
the
the way,
chat?
I
Yeah,
did not know that. And I've been calling it Bummer House like
I
since all of this
know.
happened. And I was like, wow, like I mean, I don't, I mean, it's right. Anybody could have thought Bummer House, but I was like, if I helped influence a group chat, it would what a thing to put on my tombstone, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I've been fighting on the internet because I called West a tummy forward toddler, and then all the people got mad at me. It was
Well,
like a
because you
week.
said but didn't you say that before all of this was
I
revealed?
said it literally 5 days before it was revealed, and there were people that were like, "Fuck you, you bitter, ugly bitch." And then I was like, relax. I just said he looks like a toddler because he does. He looks I had 2 boys. They were toddlers at one point. That is how a toddler walks around, especially when he's hungry and sleepy. Like, that is what they look like. And everybody got really mad at me. And now everybody's like, "That stupid tummy forward toddler." And I'm like, you guys got mad at me. So you know what? I'm gonna give you Bummer House, and I do think that you should get credit for it, just the way I should be getting
You know what?
credit for it.
I absolutely don't need credit for it. It's just nice to know that I've added something of value to the world. But yeah, Wes I mean, I listen, Wes needs a punishment that he just needs if he gets to go back to the summer house at all, we have to he doesn't get to take his shirt off ever the whole
Yeah,
season.
like that's the thing. It's like you don't get to take your shirt off. You don't get to eat snacks at
No.
at
Oh.
3 a.m. You don't get to eat out of the kitchen at 3 a.m. Okay, the
Then what am I
kitchen is closed
doing here?
to.
I've been on my best behavior. I've been on my best behavior. Let me take my shirt off.
No, because then he's gonna keep a shirt on, but he's gonna do the Ariana Grande sleeves that he's been doing because he's been
Yeah.
like bummed out, just like
Hey guys. Hey guys. Oh, you know, he's like, I mean, he's really, he's gonna ride this out. Like he's gonna ride this out. He really doesn't seem to, he's like, "Well, you know, you win some, you lose some, and, like, I hurt a lot of people, but I'm making amends," and, like, he doesn't, it's really interesting. He's gonna ride this out, and we really, as
yeah.
an audience, have a very short-term memory, so
Oh
it's
yeah.
going to go easier for him than Amanda.
Oh
Amanda does
yeah.
not seem to know what the hell to do, like, "Boo!" Like,
Yeah.
you know, "You idiots," like
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Amanda, I mean, look, this week on Summer House, it would display a behavior that made me wonder every single week. I just wonder if she had a lobotomy between the end of this season filming and like the fall. Like what
I'm all
happened in
for
the off season?
SSRIs, but let's not abuse our SSRIs. Like, she's like, there's a flattening of everything, and sometimes, you know, I've been on
Yes.
SSRIs for like 7 years or something,
Mhm.
you know, there are certain ones that, like, could flatten everything, you know, or
Yeah.
I mean, there's, like it's been a great help in my life, but, um, I just don't you know, Tom and I talked about this week where I just the beach monologue she gave, which there
Oof.
was nobody asked her to do as hard as she went. Like, I will set myself on fire for that girl.
She really did.
I'll
She's
I'll
like, "I'll
cut
drown
my
myself."
asshole out of my butt if anybody if she gives me a look, I'll kill Wes. I will kill his family.
Yeah.
I'll kill like, I was like, I and no point was me like, "Girl, what okay, you win." But I don't know how you go from that of like, "What a special, amazing person, and she deserves a special, amazing guy." How did it go from that to a couple of months later to like, fuck that bitch. Like, I want to
Yeah.
destroy her. I'm going to try to hurt her where I know it's gonna hurt her. Like, it makes it even harder for me to understand because of, those scenes.
Yeah, and you're right. Mia really was. She was sitting there. She's like, I'll cut my insides out. I'll drown him in the ocean.
Mia's like,
I'll murder
"Yeah,
him."
man, she's really cool."
Yeah, Mia's like, okay. I mean, I didn't ask you to, but all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Yeah, I just don't want Wes to hurt her. No, no, you don't get it. I wanna hurt people if anybody hurts her.
We're like, okay. Yeah, it was just very
But that's
strange.
another why I think that something was already going on with them at this point.
I'm not sure.
Not a full-blown
No.
relationship, but there was I'm sorry, I was one of those like, "No way, no way," but now I'm kinda like, you know, you don't go and the one of her reasons of like, "I don't trust that guy," is because she knows she's already done a little slap and tickle with this guy maybe potentially, and that's why I think she's even going harder of like, "You know what? I just don't trust him. I don't, you know, I don't th I don't know."
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I think that Amanda for sure like flirts with West enough. And I wonder if it's one of those things where she's like flirted with him enough to know like, oh, when West flirts with you, like, damn, like you really do like hard eyes, all over the world. Like you see stars everywhere and he can really like charm you. And I wonder if at that point, rather than saying like look, I get it. Like West can be charming because I too have been charmed by him. Like she should really watch her back because she doesn't want to admit that she's been charmed as, a married woman at this
Yeah.
point or whatever. So maybe that is, I mean, I think it's possible. I think it's possible that there was like an emotional connection, some flirting, some texting, some meme sending, some song sharing. And she's like, I mean, if that's the relationship that Sierra had with West, then I could totally see why you would be like into it. But that doesn't mean that he loves you, and
No, it's like it's being coveting of something that somebody else
yeah.
has, and
Mhm.
I think there's this idea for me where, Amanda didn't have enough faith and courage in herself or her own journey to be like, "You know what? I get a good feeling around West. There's other
Yeah.
West out there. There's other West out there that aren't on our show." And so it's like, she's like, "Oh, I've known this guy for like 3 years. Like, we have this cool friendship." And so
Yep.
it's like that did a lot of heavy lifting where a relationship would happen. It's like, girl, but like that's not it. Like you need to go out there and we say this, but it's like her narrative arc on In the City would have been so celebrated because we would have seen her actually trying to discover who she is, but trying to discover who you are and that person is like, oh, it's the same person you've seen for 3 years, but just erase Kyle and put West in there, and West is in that big bedroom with me. Then you're like, oh, so you're dependent on a man. Then it makes you think it's not about
Yes.
your own story at all. It's just your own story is dependent on a man.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bummer because even like this beautiful freedom dinner that Lindsay threw, which by the way, Lindsay Hubbard is such a fucking star because this lady has shown up for like what 4 scenes this entire season. She's like, when I have a babysitter, I'm gonna come down to the Hamptons. She shows up and just 12 hours of her being there, and then that dinner, she's like, we're gonna play a game. There's gonna be a out. We're gonna have an intervention. There's gonna be marital abuse, and we're gonna end the night with fisticuffs.
But I sometimes feel like, does she feel like she needs to go that hard? Because she's like, I've not been here 3 weeks. I
Yeah.
gotta really.
Yeah.
And in a talking head, she's like, listen, Amanda, she's really been put through the ringer, but I love Kyle. I've known him the longest, so I understand both sides. And then cut to dinner. Kyle, you're not talking with your wife. I'm like, it doesn't seem like you've known Kyle. Like she's going so hard on Kyle, where Kyle is not like, what? Huh, and Kyle just took the bait so easily.
I
Like
know.
it's like we were talking about with the Valley of like
Mhm.
Janet just letting Danny spin out.
Yeah.
Amanda, all she has to do is just stay quiet because she
Mhm.
knows Kyle will spin out. And I think it's interesting with the fan base. The two things with this show we seem to argue about is if you love or hate Lindsay Hubbard. I
Mhm.
personally love her, but I also
Adore
love her in
her.
a different way because of she's a reality star. Like,
Yeah.
I also understand that people move through the world differently. It's not how I would move through the world, but you understand. Like, you can go, okay, her mom abandoned her, this. Like, you understand where it comes from, even though I still wouldn't act the way she acted. But my God, thank God you exist. And the other thing we can't agree on is if Amanda deserved to have Kyle say, fuck you at that dinner table.
And I'm like, I
Everybody
can't believe
seems to
this is
be
a
in their
debate.
feelings about this.
I'm like, I can't believe this is a debate. Guys, Amanda sucks, but husbands should not be telling their
Yes,
wives,
but
"Fuck
like
you."
there's people I respect that I'm watching going like, I'd say fuck you to her too. I'm like, wait, what? I
No.
mean, guys,
Time
like, what are we?
time out. We can't. Hey, if that's what you believe, go watch The Valley. There's plenty of that for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a priest, like 2 Hail Marys and 3 seasons of the Valley. You got to go watch
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Yeah, that whole dinner, I mean, it was really, and it's a bummer, right? Because Amanda had everybody, like you said, on her side. The city would have been amazing. And I think Lindsay said, maybe on Watch What Happens Live or something, she said that the season of the city that they filmed, she and Amanda became best friends.
Yes, I watched that. Yeah,
And listen, one of the greatest gifts you can have on the summer house is if Lindsay Hubbard is willing to fight your battles. Like
yeah.
that's how, like having Achilles on your side. Like that is incredible. She has a grudge against one of your haters. It's over for that person. Like you have the greatest army behind you if you have Lindsay Hubbard. And even at this dinner, her being like, Kyle, like, you need to be nicer to your wife. And like, I care about the both of you and you need to get it together, whatever. He just needed to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
And then for him to just
you don't
go.
understand. She's a lazy piece of shit. You guys
Whoa.
don't see how lazy she is. And I'm like, the funny thing is, if we didn't know the information we know now, we would have viewed
Yeah.
that scene in a whole different way, and I think everybody would have been like, "Yeah, fuck you, Kyle. You can't just say." And by the way, he didn't say. He kind of whispered it out. He goes, "Fuck you," like directly
Okay, it
to her.
was so mean.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
so
like,
mean. It was so sinister for him to just like, and then that's, I'm so glad that Sierra and Lindsay both were like, absolutely not. You're not going to talk
well,
to her
no,
that
her
way.
white knight pulled his chair directly over,
Yeah,
and
he did.
he goes, "Hey, Kyle, look at Lindsay, not Amanda. Look at," like it was like he was like talking to a gorilla or something. "Lindsay, not Amanda.
He's like,
Lindsay,
snap.
Lindsay, over here, over here." He's like, over here, not Amanda. Lindsay, Lindsay, Lindsay." And
Here, girl. Here,
Kyle's
boy. Here, boy.
short circuiting. He's like, "Oh."
And like I get it because it does suck when like you already don't like your partner and you think that she already hates you, and like then she's sitting there like giggling about the fact that like
Yes.
you're like choosing to make these horrible decisions about your career at a table full of people, but like, and I get it. It is frustrating. Also, Kyle's drunk. Like
Yeah.
guys, Kyle's hammered. He was at the beach. They've been drinking all day.
And I think
He
the thing that like upsets me so much that people don't get is that by some weird alchemy, Kyle looks amazing all the time. Like his skin looks fresh, he looks clean cut. It's like
Mhm.
if I have like a 100-yard stare, you're like, oh, that guy's a mess. Like, but Kyle, you're like, oh, there's no way he's drunk. Like he's got really nice skin. And he's like, no, he's hammered. This is the last weekend in the summer house. And
Yeah.
by the way, not standing up for Kyle, but like just think about it. He is really truly losing his mind because
Yeah.
he knows that this is different than any other summer. Amanda
Mhm.
truly doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yep.
And he truly is losing it. And also, you guys, he just wants to share his music with the world. Like, why can't he has a song to share? And like it's a simple journey that he's on. And it really has been a running joke. And I don't understand why. Because
But
he's good.
like
He wants to bring joy to people, he said.
he does. But like it's just so funny to me because like Kyle really does get drunk and then he's like, guys, shut up, shut up. Listen to this music. Listen to this set list. Guys, shut up. Listen. You're like, okay, Kyle, we danced. We want to sit and talk for a little while. He's like, no. You gotta wait. Gotta wait. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Like, oh God. I
Well,
just
even like the episodes ago, he entered the house. He goes, "Huh, somebody needs a DJ." Like he's that guy that gets it. Like, and he probably is named his DJ equipment. He's like, "You miss me? Did you miss Daddy?"
100%.
But by the way,
Exactly.
I've actually seen Kyle
Yes.
DJ.
Mhm.
He's actually good. I mean, like all kidding aside, I've seen a lot of Bravo celebrities do their
Mhm.
weird little bits and stuff. He's actually good. He does a lot of, I'm a big fan of mashups and he does
Yeah.
like, cause there was one I was like, is this actually yours? Cause I thought he stole it from somebody and it was like actually his. And I was like, oh, that's really, it's actually decent.
Were you able to go to that party, before the Super Bowl? Did you go to
Yeah,
that
that's
one?
where it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
heard
and
it
that
was
was because
amazing.
West and Kyle were there. I talked to
I
both
know.
of them, and, like, by no means did I have any we were talking about it was because it was right before the episode came out that he pulled the guys and was like, "Oh, man, she's a weed smoker. I, like, live in a frat house,"
Like, okay.
Which is, by the way, Kyle, if you lived in a frat house, that would mean you'd wanna be there more, but,
Yeah.
um, like, I'd already seen the episode, and it didn't come out till Tuesday, so, like, I talked to Wes and we kind of like at the he's like, "Oh man, what'd you think of the episode?" And I was like, "It's brutal. Like, man, poor Amanda." Not knowing at this point he'd already had something going on with Amanda. So we were talking about Kyle. I was like, that was insane. And then Kyle comes out, Kyle's like, "What's up, dude?" And I'm like, he goes, "Did you see the episode?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, it's bad, man. Bad." I go, "Yeah, it wasn't
Oh my
good. It wasn't good."
god.
And so West was like hosting this thing and Kyle was DJing this thing. And I was like kind of proud for both of them. And Kyle was like wearing his wedding ring. It was like, but like you wouldn't have been. And then that was also the day that then he went to the Super Bowl and West posted a picture with him and
Mhm.
Sierra at halftime.
Mhm. Mhm. You basically were inside of a horror movie. Like, you're
No, I
describing
didn't
this.
know it. I
I
didn't know it.
know.
It was like a great time.
It's like, everybody knows that the people around you are dead, but you didn't know that the people around you are dead. And that's kind of like what you're telling me this right now. And I'm like, no, it was not real. Nothing that you saw there that day was real,
Well,
Ryan.
no, I also think like if we could go like get the footage of that day of like what you didn't see, and it's like zooms in on Wes, he's texting Amanda of like, "I want to hump you," and
Yeah.
Kyle like, "Hey babe, I miss you. I just want to get back together." Like the stuff that I didn't see that was like right in front of my eyes.
God, what a crazy time. I mean, it's funny because it's like not even. When you really think about it, like, my husband does not watch any Bravo at all, but then when I, like, told him about everything that is going on with Summer House, he was just like, "Okay." Like,
Yeah.
it
Well,
when you break it down, it's not that crazy, you know? But then when you're like, "No, you don't understand. He used her as a storyline for 3
yeah.
seasons, and then that woman, she wiped that other woman's tears, and then she went and fucked the guy who fucked her over." Like, you have to really pour a lot of emotion into it, and I think that's why it's such an emotional experience to watch this. That is why every episode when at least the last 3 episodes where Sierra's, like, hugging West and telling him, "Oh, you're just my best friend, and I love you so much," and all this stuff. It's just so heartbreaking to watch that. But I will say this, because the reunion has already filmed and Sierra's like doing the red carpet at the Met Gala and at all these events and partying with like the heated rivalry guys or whatever, I'm like, I'm not as bummed out anymore. You know, I'm like, she's fine. She's
Yeah, I'm
okay.
like, okay, the industry's got her now for better,
Yeah.
like, and we saw how that worked out for Ariana, and it worked out well, and obviously, like, yeah, best case scenario for Sierra, she'll be able to buy all the houses on that block that her grandpa had, like,
Yeah.
I, it's great, I am a little not concerned, but I'm curious where you go from here if you're building a cast and where it goes, because this was kind of always, even though we always saw Kyle and Amanda fight, it was always my fun vibey show. And now
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is like dirty. Like there's like a nastiness to what
Mhm.
they did
Mhm.
that I
Mhm.
don't think Wes still seems to understand. And the thing with like it's I always fall into this trap, and I did it with Sandoval as well. But with Wes, I was like, I was so enamored with Wes because I so agreed with his politics.
Yes. Mhm.
And I even talked to him about that day. I was like, "Hey, man, thank you for being so vocal. Like sometimes I'm not as vocal as I want to be because I just don't have the time to argue with people in
Yeah.
comments and stuff like that." But I'm like, I love that you do that. I think that's a real important thing. And you realize yeah, I was just you're like, "Oh, man, it's so great. So great what you're doing." And then they do something that, like, kinda you're like, "Oh, bummer." And I know everybody does things in life, I know, but this seemed to be malicious in some way,
Yeah.
especially after finding out the piece that West was allegedly still sleeping with Sierra as of, like, a month and a half before this broke. And I'm like,
It's
"Okay, then this
crazy.
is even we and there seems to be, like, seedy drugs." It just seems like there's just seems to be all, like,
Yeah.
weirdness.
Yeah, it's really has taken a turn because people are like, "He was pictured at this event where somebody came and slipped him a bag of cocaine," and I'm like, "Not a bag of cocaine! Oh my god!" Like, there's
Well,
so much going
there was
on.
one episode this season where I literally found, like, 2
Mm,
moments where I'm like, "He is
mm,
on there is, like" he said he was tripping balls, which usually means
mhm.
Molly or mushrooms, but then
Yeah.
you see a couple moments, and there's, like, one by the car when they're coming home from the club with Kyle, Ben, and Wes, where it looks like they're passing something, and then I think Kyle or Wes puts it directly in his pocket again, where I'm like, they are because I just Wes, think about it, he's, like, 3 seasons in, he's confident enough to, like, "Yeah, I could do a little drugs at the summer house."
Yeah.
Like, "Yeah."
I'll do
I could
some
do a
hard
little
drugs at
drug.
the
It
summer.
just makes me
Yeah, who
funnier,
cares?
and that was, like,
Yeah.
when they're all in tuxedos and doing all the dancing TikToks. Also, how exhausting is that when you see all their TikToks and you're like, you're filming the show and then you have to, like, stop to film 10 TikToks for each one of your cast members? Like, it's just sometimes you're like, "Do you have any real moments in this house? Because it's everything. It's like, "Film this TikTok with me on top of the show," and you're like, I couldn't do it.
It's a lot. Real quick on Ben, what do you think about Sabrina?
Sabrina Bell? Sabrina Bell. Um it's funny, man. Like I saw Sabrina's on Threads now, and she posted a picture of Ben, and he was like on a plane. I think he had like, oh, he was like, I think it was like the heart sign or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny. You just get this vibe that she like tells him what to do. Of like, do the heart sign, do the heart sign, like do it, Ben. I love you, of course, Sabrina Bell. Yeah, of course, And she's always, I don't know. I think she's great. Like I don't dislike her, but it is funny, like the way Jesse even's like, she loves you, man. He's like, yeah, I kind of get that. I
I
get
can
that.
he's
They
like,
all kind of seem
Yeah,
they
they're like,
seem weird
yeah,
enough.
yeah, they're like, "She seems like she loves the shit out of anybody that she loves, so, okay, thanks, I guess." Um, I love her because I feel much like the way I think Luke was a curse that came from 1801. I think that Sabrina was transported here from 1997. I think her entire personality is like Liv Tyler in the 90s. Like, everything about her, even, like, the way she talks, she's always just like, I love you. You're perfect. This is so beautiful. We're so lucky. And you're like, are you a Disney character? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Talk like a human
The
being.
way that these people throw around, like, terms like best friends is, like,
Oh,
hysterical. Like, it's like,
it's
"Well,
so
we've known
funny.
each other for a couple weeks now." It's like, "You're my
Yeah.
best friend, and I just feel
Yeah.
like I know your heart inside and out." I'm like, "You don't know anything about me." Like,
Yeah. I'm a monster, actually. I'm letting you know right now.
but at
I
the same
mean,
time, I'm like, "You know what? There's roads to discover with her." Like, I'm like,
yes.
if she comes back, it would be interesting to see her more and kind of trying to get a beat on, even how she dresses. Like, how do you pick out an outfit in the morning? Like, I want to know more. And
Yeah.
Ben's revelation that his dad was a born again
Yeah.
Christian and didn't talk to him for years because he had an indiscretion with a girl in high school. I
What
thought
does
that
that
was
mean? What does that mean? What is an indiscretion? Did you fuck her? Like, is that what it was? Is that what that
I think it's butt
means?
sex. I think
Yeah.
that's what it no, no, I think it was just sex.
It
I think it
was
was just
like,
sex, but I was just like, "Wow, your dad didn't talk to you for years?" Like, then you're like, "Okay, that kind of works with how, like, Ben is of, like,
yeah.
how forcefully he wants to control things to a
Yeah.
degree, and I
Yeah.
really wanna make sure I love Sabrina Bell before I commit," you know?
Yeah. I mean, and they're together. They're the real deal. They're really together. Apparently, all she watches is Entourage and now Summer House. Like, that also is hilarious to me that she's like, guys, I know I seem like a fan, but the only TV show I watch is Entourage. I was like, you couldn't pull that information out of me.
Oh, yeah, I've seen every episode of Entourage, you never know it. I've never brought it up. I've
I know.
never brought it
You're
up.
like, nobody should be
I've never
advertising
brought it up.
that.
Proudly, I've never brought it up. Like, lie to us and say Downton Abbey or something like that. Like, there's no
There's
I
other
don't know,
shows.
like, but also, do you think that's, like, a well-respected show, Entourage? Like, was that something like, "Get this, you guys, I have HBO," you know?
Yeah, yeah, basically, basically. What do you think about my guy Carl and Bailey? Do you think that they're the real deal?
I mean, I just think Carl, his relationship is his work that he's doing with sobriety and helping other people. I think that's his girlfriend or whatever it
Mhm,
is. But I
mhm.
will say one of the funniest scenes was that little conversation between him and Bailey where he's like, "I could see your G-string on your butt." He goes, "Did you have Levi check your butt out?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I did." "Yeah, I thought you did. Did you, that's so do you like to dress sexy?" And, like, he was so funny. It was, like,
It's
such a
so
little scene, but you knew Carl was like, "Yeah, play it cool, man, play it cool." And he was like, she's like, he was like, "I like your outfit. It's pretty good. It's pretty good." She's like, "Well, this is pretty toned down." He goes, "Yeah, I like it." It was almost like, "Yeah, I don't like when you dress like a whore. I don't like
and
that."
also at the other place where he was like, your outfit that you wore to the soft bar, like that was so nice. Like, the way I could see your underwear. And then when they flashed back to it, I was like,
There's
because it looks like tan lines. That's the thing. She was
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
a sheer dress and you could see her underwear in it. And I was like, because it looks like tan lines. That's what it is. Carl loves when it looks like somebody's wearing underwear, but they're not. Like, that's really what it is.
What do you think about sun exposure, Bailey? What do you think? And I love that they kiss, and then, a couple minutes later, he's like, "Is your heart still racing?" And she goes, "No." He goes, "Mine is."
And then she goes, "Is it because we kissed in front of your ex-fiance?" He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally why." She's like, "Okay." I'm excited for him. With the moment we've all been waiting for, he and Kyle are gonna get into a fist fight and something. I mean, doesn't matter again because they seem to be fine. They love each other. They
Yeah,
love
I
the
mean,
shit
they're
out of each
showing up
other.
for each other. Kyle was just at his award ceremony. He got a recovery award, I believe,
Oh,
the other
nice.
night, and him and KJ went, which was like really cool to see. And Carl's one of those like people that we should celebrate. It's like we can also make fun of him. Like I love to make
Yeah.
fun of him, just how awkward he is. Like that's how I talk as well. When it's like he's so nervous. He doesn't like if you. I mean, think about like where you see Carl that first season, and like it's just a completely different person, and you realize how blitzed out of his mind was because he would just be like, "Hey, you want to do it?" Like, yeah, like it was just like how he would talk to women. So he's really relearning everything. And it's great to see him get to this place. I'm not
Yeah.
infantilizing him. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that some people, you watch their journey and you just want the best for them and you see how hard they work and they're putting one foot in front of the other. And I think that's what I said a couple weeks ago. Bravo should like parade this dude around going, we don't just have toxic men and men can change sometimes. It's
Mhm.
rare, but they can't like Bravo should be just like putting him out on blast. he's not going to ever lead a show, but I think he's a good addition or a good spice. And the fact that I do think it's a huge mistake he's not in the city, and especially seeing how pressed Lindsay is still, it would have been
Mhm.
a great continuation for In the City, I think.
Well, speaking of Lindsay, there are some fights between Lindsay and everybody's favorite enemy, Michael Rappaport. There's some words. Michael Rappaport posted a video being like, I love you, Lindsay Hubbard. You're amazing. I'm a piece of shit. Anyway, here's my thoughts about you. Have a different storyline instead of Carl. And Lindsay was like, you're a stupid, ugly, old, crotchety, old, nasty old man. And I'm a single mother raising a child in this economy. And everybody was like, okay, Michael Rappaport, you don't want to fuck with Lindsay Hubbard.
Well, it's like, but it's like, don't fall into Michael's trap. He wants
Yeah.
this. He
Yeah.
wants you to engage. He loves it. This is what Michael does.
Yeah.
I posted that in my Instagram stories, and I did open a couple DMs that were like, I agree with them, and I'm like, oh, this is the everybody, but see, everybody's like really hot and cold on Lindsay. Like, it's so
Yeah.
interesting. But I really sometimes I say this, but then I'm like, well, I could be the same way. It's like sometimes I just want him out of Bravo. I just don't want him to comment.
100%.
But at the same time, people could feel that way about me. Like I have to understand that's part of the gig,
Yeah.
but I just never agree with him on who his favorites are.
Yeah.
Like, I never agree. Like, I'm just like, we are watching two separate shows, and just he knows putting that out publicly that is going to get some sort of attention for Michael Rappaport. Like, for me, he ruined some of Traders for me. Some people loved
Yeah.
him, but I just thought, like, I forgot who said it. He just took up all the oxygen in the room.
Yeah, yeah, and I wonder if he's just using Summer House to, like, get attention because he's also trying to run for mayor of New York City, which is not for a little while now, but, like, it's everybody's like, "Okay, shut up, Michael, like, nobody
There's no
cares,
way he
nobody's
could
gonna vote
win,
for
but
you."
I will say with knowing who Michael Rappaport is, that's what I'm saying. We make these people low-level celebrities, and it's like a promotional budget.
Yeah,
It's like how
exactly.
Loverboy Kyle did an interview saying, like, I never had to pay for an advertising budget because of Bravo. It's like these people, like, they're using their low level of fame, and it's already giving them kind of like a boost in the polls when they run. And it's really scary to me. But Michael Rappaport is, he's exhausting. And thank you for your fandom, I guess. But I've never agreed with him usually.
No, and I honestly you were like, "His favorites are not my favorites." I couldn't even tell you who his favorites are. I think he just, like
I
he
remember the
loves, like
most he was on with Erica Jane once. I'm like, "Oh my god, Erica, you're the most amazing housewife." I'm like, "You're out of your mind, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you are
what are you
out of your
talking
mind." And this
about?
was like after, like, post Tom Girardi. I'm like,
Mm,
"Oh, you mean her just like kinda slovenly being drunk all over the place?" And like,
yeah,
he was like a huge Rinna. I thought Rinna was like so bad her last season,
yeah,
and he was just like, "She's
yeah.
amazing." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think that's just who he is, and I think that's also why he was on Traders this season is because ultimately, like, people are like, "Oh, Bravo would be so stupid to give, Wes and Amanda a chance back on Summer House." I'm like, "No, do you not understand how TV works? You don't
Yeah, no.
understand how TV works. No, the worst people get to be on these shows so that people can engage and comment on it and talk about it and make it go
Yes.
trend and viral and all this shit." And I mean, like, you and I literally, that's what we do when we podcast. We talk about these terrible
But
shows
this isn't
because,
Sesame Street. Like, this isn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody like skip and we're gonna do coloring later and everybody's gonna be happy. Like, no, they want to enrage us. There's gotta be something that upsets us every episode. Now, I don't think that's ever written out in any directives, but I think that's a concept that they talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Rage, and especially in these shows, and like us rushing to our phone to be angry about something is just another impression for advertising sales. That's all it's like it's all it is. So, like, yeah, Wes and Amanda, I think, will continue to be on Bravo in some way. I'm curious. Like, I think they've got a real, Amanda's gonna like already rip off the band-aid within the city, but I think Wes is gonna be an interesting challenge of how do they present him back on Summer House if they continue on with it? Like, how would you ever trust I don't know. I'm really curious to see the reunion, like what he says.
Yeah. And you know what's incredible is the real 180 that happened this season is Jesse. Jesse started this season. Everybody was like, fuck you and your stupid music, you stupid bitch, you tall motherfucker, you muppet. We hate you. And everybody's like, Jesse's amazing. He's so nice.
We're
I will
idiots, dude.
say,
I
I
mean,
will
yes,
say this.
he's great. He's said
Yeah.
things that make sense for 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
he said said things that made sense for 3 episodes in a row, and honestly, that's all it takes. That's all it
Do
takes for people.
you like it's like really like as it's pretty crazy as like a straight guy that you see online and you see it happen. Like I remember the people that were shipping West and Sierra before the season when they saw the
Yeah,
trailer. They're like, "Oh
yeah.
my god." I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I liked Wes and Sierra, but I was like, why would you ever make Sierra do that again? Because he's not. No, and at that point, I really like Wes. I was like, no offense, it just that's not that's. And everybody was shipping him, and then you see it with the Jesse Solomon of like, whoa, I might have to date Jesse Solomon now. I'm like, well, how do you watch this show? Like, by the way, Jesse, that's how we all are. There's like good and bad, and we make mistakes and we do good
Yeah.
things. And like Jesse's does like the stuff with the cancer organization, like it makes
Yes.
your heart feel full, and it's a good reminder that we should appreciate more things. But by no means has that been like he deserves 72 virgins now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
No, that's 100% exactly. They're like straight to heaven, Jesse Solomon. He's a saint. He's
well,
one of the
and the
greatest
way
men that
and the
we
way the
know.
Bravo audience like they can't just like somebody; they have to offer sex. Like that's usually the thing. Like, I might have to sleep with Jesse. That's how I always see it, and that's when I'm like,
You're
what is
like,
going on, man?
yeah,
Like you see
you're
these
like,
people write these things of like, wow, I am hot and bothered by this man all of a sudden. I'm like, dude, give it next season. He's going to get his toe sucked again. And you will like the first season, Wes got in trouble. The second season, Jesse got in trouble. Third season, Wes really fucked up. And fourth season, we go back to Jesse.
yeah, that's how it goes. It's fine, and it is funny. Yeah, they're always like, I either will and you know what? That's kind of what Amanda did. I will murder West. I will throw him and his family into the ocean. I'll fucking kill them, or I'm gonna give him my body, and I'm going to ruin my
You know,
entire
yeah,
life.
you know, the DVD commentary of that scene. You know what I was thinking here? I just realized I could do it easier with my body, and I was going to go deep undercover, and I was going to protect Sierra in a different way. If I was sleeping with
Yeah.
Wes, that means I would be protecting Wes from sleeping with Sierra. I tried my hardest. And I don't think people will understand my decision. Maybe 10 years from now it will be appreciated.
Yeah.
But that's what I did.
Yeah.
I tried to woo him and he took the bait, you guys. He slept with me very easily.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was doing Sierra a favor. That's
Yeah,
really what
well,
it
that's
was.
part of it. That's what she's gonna think. She's gonna be like, he obviously wasn't ready. He likes dirty girls like me. There's no way that he was going to like somebody angelic like Sierra that has like a lot of an emotional makeup. Like, I bet she's talked about it's like, because she had that line earlier in the season of like, I just don't know if anybody will ever like me after this. Like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
deserve anything more. And so there's that thought of like, if that's how you're thinking, you probably already think of yourself as less than. And you
Yeah.
probably, there was probably, like Rebecca says all the time, like, just imagine the dirty sex that they were having and they were probably
Yes.
getting so off on it. It's like, can you
Yes.
imagine this? Nobody knows about this. We are bad people. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Pull my hair, you know?
Yeah, both of us love to walk in public bathrooms without shoes on. Let's do it. Like,
Like,
ew, disgusting.
can I wear
Ooh.
all your clothes, Wes? Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other clothes, Amanda? What's
I just
going
wanna
on? I also love when she's obviously not wearing his clothes and somebody's like, she is wearing his
I
clothes. And
know.
you're like, no, guys, no, there's other clothes. Like black t-shirts exist. You're like, West once wore a black t-shirt, and now Amanda is wearing a black t-shirt. It's obviously the same shirt. It's just a black t-shirt.
I love it. I'm like, look, I'm like, what a fucking mess. Here I haven't showered in 2 days. I'm wearing like the same basketball shorts for like a week now. I'm like, oh, so gross, dude. So gross.
They're so nasty.
So
Um,
nasty people.
um, I can't wait to continue to see where this goes. Do you get screeners?
I do, yeah. I got,
Have you
but
seen more of
they
it?
switched, dude. They switched it up. I used to get it on like Thursday or Friday, and
Mhm.
then once all the shit started going down, they moved it to like Monday afternoon.
Oh,
And but I'm not. I think I didn't. A lot of people will be like, I watched it and you're about to have, your asshole bleed because it's so intense. And part of it's just like, yeah, thanks for the warning, but you also kind of just want to tell people that you have the screener, like, and
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
I've now just tried to keep my mouth shut about that unless I'm asked
yeah,
directly. But
yeah,
it I kind of like watching it with everybody else,
yeah,
like, and I don't know, there's something that's, like, kind of part of the fun of it,
yeah,
but, it was like a fun weekend watch because before we knew what would happen, I just love watching Summer House anyways.
yeah, yeah. So you don't know what's happening next week yet.
Nope. I will
Oh,
know
you're
Monday afternoon, I would imagine. But I also don't go dig like, I'm not a Reddit person. I
Yeah.
don't dig for information. Like, sometimes people
Mhm.
will give me something, but I'm like, "Well, let's see what the producers wanna show me," and then you'll read enough articles and stuff about everything going on outside of the summer house, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I have to say, like, it was all very exciting when the first thing came out and you're like, "Oh my god, they're actually together. There's a joint statement, da da da," all that stuff. I will say this, that I'm kind of over all of the extra shit. Like, I don't care anymore. Present the television show as it's meant to be presented to me. I don't need to be doing any more Easter egg hunting and, like, looking for other clues. Tell me the story, and I am happy
Yeah,
to watch
what is
along.
this, a Taylor Swift album? Just
Yeah.
release the I I do there is, like, I would, like, wish I had kept a journal during Scandival because I was like,
Yeah.
there had to have been an exhaustion point at that time as
Yeah.
well, and so, I think we're getting there. I'm really happy that the cast, for the most part, and I mean mainly just Wes and Amanda, kinda
Mhm.
chilled out. I mean, Wes did his podcast. Amanda did her, like, boo, Instagram story and deleted it. But other than that, I think it was like, you show up to like Yankees games and stuff like that. That was like enraging to a lot of us. And then you had the leaks. And so at this point, we just got 2 more weeks to go
Yeah.
till we're able to see this for ourselves. I mean, there is something exciting about natural curiosity about what's going to happen, but also life is so busy that these kind of
Yeah.
like right now for me, like days, it all just
Yeah,
blends. So I'm like,
yeah.
by the end of this conversation, a new episode will be out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Also, like, from the leaks, it was so funny because, like, I listened to the first leak and then I just didn't care because I was like, I mean, the episode's gonna be out sooner or later anyway, but it was so funny to me also to see all of the people being like, "Who leaked the audio? Who could
It's
it be? Who could it be? And who's gonna get fired?" And then, everybody being like, "This is so disappointing. I can't believe somebody did this to Bravo." I'm like, "Did this to Bravo? Calm down, everybody. Who
one of the
cares?"
nicest corporations that I've ever had the pleasure. No, it is so funny because it's like we all of a sudden become so pious. We're like up on this high horse. I'm like, dude, you watch these shows. Like you all of a sudden of like, we are, it's like the sainthood of like the
Yeah.
apostles, where I'm like, okay, chill. But all those people did is like, of course I listened to it, but I had to.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
had
yeah,
to.
they're
It's
like
like
yeah, they're like, "It's so fucked up that somebody leaked it. Anyway, here's my
it's so
45-minute
fucked up.
analysis."
It's so fucked up. But what's also fucked up is the way that Amanda talked to Sierra. Okay. I just like I love when it's like it's like, dude, look at your own lives. Like we're all fucked up, and no,
Yeah.
I don't mean fucked up in the way that what Amanda did to
Yeah,
West did to
yeah,
Sierra,
yeah.
but it is funny when everybody gets on their high horse, and yeah, it. I was just more. It was when I first got sent to it. I got sent to it early in the evening that Thursday, and I just kept my mouth shut. I was like, nah, I
Yeah.
don't, because I still had to do a podcast that night, and then I
Yeah.
kept pausing, and I would look at my phone, and it just, like, spread. It was like
Yeah.
watching a virus where I was like, "Holy shit," and then by the end, I was like, "Well, I guess I gotta talk about it because I was like, I've had this for a minute, but I didn't realize how quickly that was gonna spread," and then it was like part 2, part
Yeah.
3, and I was just then more curious about, like, well, how did this happen? Like, why did this
Mhm.
happen? Like, this is kind of insanity. I do not think like I saw Reality Steve or something saying like Bravo purposely did this. I don't no, I don't think so, because if they did
Yeah.
this, they would have waited till this weekend to drop it
Yeah.
because they'd be like, "Okay, the intensity's died down. Let's ramp it back up." You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I had my surgery on a Wednesday, and so I was like it was like a 9-hour surgery. I woke up, I didn't really have my phone. I just, like, texted my mom, talked to my family, checked in on my kids, made sure everybody was good, and then I, like, went back to sleep, and then I woke up on Thursday, and I'm, like, barely able to move my body, and I, like, open up my phone, and everybody's like, "The audio from the reunion leaked," and I was like, this being the first thing I'm listening to post like this major surgery is actually hilarious and on brand for me. It was a treat. And then the entire time before my surgery, every nurse I would meet, I'd be like, "So, do you watch any television?" And they're like,
Oh.
"Yeah, yeah, I watch The Pit." They're like, "I watch The Pit." And I'm like, "Oh, have you heard of Summer House?" They're like, "No, sorry, what's going on Summer House?" And I'm like, "Never mind, I can't explain it to you." That Thursday, the nurse that came in during the daytime for me, I was like, "You've never heard of Summer House, have you?" And she goes, "The audio that leaked from the reunion." I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "God really sent you for me
Oh,
to talk
this is
to."
funny. Rebecca got induced, and we were at the hospital, and I had my laptop out, and we had gotten Taylor Frankie Paul's The Bachelorette premiere episode,
Oh my god.
and it was right around the time when all that shit was going down where I was like, we gotta watch it now because I bet they yanked this. I bet they
Yeah,
yanked
yeah.
this in the next day, and they did. But we were watching, like nurses were coming in, and they're like, "Hey, how are you watching that?" And we were like, "Yeah." But it was we watched like a couple Bravo shows, like Walsh, like Below Deck, Southern
Yeah.
Charm, I think was still on. But
Yeah.
it was funny. All those nurses came in, and they were Bravo fans as well. So it was really interesting.
It's always so nice to see a person in the wild that you're like, I know your day job is to take care of me and like make sure that I don't die out after the surgery, but like just wanted to check in. What are your thoughts about West Wilson?
Yeah.
Like it's just it's so nice.
Well, it was like the nurses delivering when we were like when she got into like the pushing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
She was like, we could have done with a little less Bravo, because then we were like, the nurses were talking about Bravo. We were like, like, oh, the men, right? The men, And she's like, 10, 9, 8. She's crowning, just like Jack's crown in that second season of
Yeah.